Hello, welcome to the micas one-on-one introduction. My name is John Senek. Let's get right to it. When you have access to micas, you enter into a website that looks like this. Here you see MFP registration, product diagnostics, and reports. You also have MFP registration, product diagnostics, and reports on the header menus, along with the viewer, micas agent, and help file. There are a couple options you need to set up to configure machines to start reporting into micas. The first thing is you need to request the serial number for that machine. The second item is you need to configure alerts for that MFP so it can send those alerts to micas. The third item would be to set up remote email diagnostics or RED information. Providing you have those three already taken care of, then it's time to go ahead and link that device to a customer. You click on MFP registration area and you see a screen that looks like this. Here you have a couple buttons you can choose from. One is new customer, two is export customers, three is import customers. So let's get right to it. To create a customer within micas, you first click on the new customer button. Here you see a series of options that need to be filled out. Customer name, customer number, dealer representative, street, city, state, zip code, telephone, and you can set your billing date. Hit save, and then your customer will appear in this listing here. I am going to be using the customer that I just created called Micas Education. I am going to query it and hit search. Now, as you can see, I typed in Micas E. You don't need to necessarily type in Micas Education completely. Our search engine knows what you're looking for. Here in the listing is now Micas Education. When I click on Micas Education, you can see that there are 493 devices linked to that customer. On the right-hand side in the Actions area, we have a series of options that can assist you with that customer. The first one would be Edit Customer Details. If you made a mistake when creating your customer, you can go ahead and modify that information by filling in the updated information back to our database and hit the Save button. If you want to come in the morning and review a maintenance report for that customer, you can also do so. But first, there are a couple more options that need to be talked about before we go into that. As you saw before, I went ahead and created the customer on an individual basis. If I need to go ahead and import multiple customers at one time, Micas has the answer for you. We have given you an Import Customer tab that you would click on. You would download a customer import file in CSV format, input your information for your customers, save it locally to your computer, choose the file to where that information resides, then post it into Micas, and then your customer listing will appear here. Okay? I have not done that yet, so that is why you are not seeing it. So now that we have the customer created, you see another information where export customers. So if you have a lot of customers and you want to get a listing of those customers, you can then export a listing right here by clicking the button. And this will bring down a customer CSV file of all your customers you have created. The next thing to do is, once the customer is created, is to link the device to that customer. So the customer is selected here, being Micas Education. I'm going to then click on the Device tab. As you can see in the listing here are my 493 devices that are already being created. But if I need to create a new device, I would then hit the New Registration button, select the product type, MFP, select the model series of the machine, the serial number, machine ID, the name, along with the purchase date. I would then hit Save. In this presentation, I'm going to hit Close, and the device will then be listed here for that customer. So now that the device is linked to that customer, we can drop into that device and see the serial number for it. You can also see the machine ID, the registration, the date when that device was registered, and we have a couple series of actions here as well. You can edit the registration if you made a mistake when creating that device. You can post back that information to our database, hit save. I'm going to hit close for this purpose of this demonstration. If you want to change a customer, so let's say you have a customer created on the other side and a machine is coming off lease, and you want to change that customer to point it to that new customer. Well, you can do that, and it will appear in this drop-down listing here, the new customer you can assign it to. You just select the customer, hit change customer, and then that machine has been reassigned to that new customer. If you want to delete the device registration completely, we have the option here where you click on delete device registration, and you can remove that device out of micas. We also have the micas viewer and product diagnostics, which I'll get into in a moment. If you want to import multiple devices into micas, very similar to importing multiple customers into micas, we also have an option for you there as well. You can click on the Import Device tab, bring down the template file, update the information, post it back to us, then your devices for that customer can be added into micas. So now that we have our customer and devices selected, let's look at some of the reports that we can look at. Perhaps our dispatcher can come in the morning and see what machines need attention right away. The dispatcher can select micas Education or micas E from the listing. Then over on the Actions tab, you can click on the Maintenance Report. We're going to select the Maintenance Report. Here you can see the customer is micas Education. The serial number of the machine is here. The product model and series number of the machine, machine ID. Open in micas takes you to the viewer, which I will discuss with you in a few moments. Your black and white and color counts are listed here, and we show you what maintenance is required to fix that machine. We also give you the conditions for that maintenance. So in this case, it's a fuse encounter. We also show you the parts needed to fix those machines and the quantities. This can come through in a listing for all your machines that require immediate attention. So it's a great tool for you to leverage in order to really understand as what your machines in the field are doing and how they are performing. The next option is a trouble code report. Trouble codes happen immediately when they happen on the machine. On the first section, what I talked about is when you're configuring the machines and you set up alerts, you will then get notified of these trouble codes and what they're saying about what's happening with that machine. So the first trouble code here you can see is the customer, and it's an SPPTD1_S. Okay, the serial number for the machine, machine ID, machine code, location, date and time the trouble codes happen, maintenance, last updated date and time, black and white counts, color counts, and total counts. If you want to export this listing, you can also do so by clicking on the Export for Excel button. The next one is the red email diagnostic report. Now, trouble codes happen, like I said, as they come out of the machine, so in real time. The red email diagnostic report happens once a day. That's set by you on the MFP. So for example, if you configure red to send a red message at 8 a.m. today, the next time that machine will send a red message will be 8 a.m. the following day. If you want to receive a report to export all counters black and white in color, you would select this. And that will give you a report for your customer, and you can get your color and copy counts here. You can also export it for Excel as well. Export all counters by customer. Another report that you can leverage. You just have to click on that link. And then export all counters by customer for Excel. The next thing we're going to talk about is the micas viewer. The micas viewer is a great tool to assist any technician in the field how to fix MFPs. You may ask, how can that happen? Well, we have great amount of research and assets into micas to assist that technician properly, efficiently, so they can be proactive rather than reactive. Let's look at the viewer together, shall we? The viewer looks similar to this. You have a customer, a serial number, name, product model, machine location, machine state, and summary. This will work on any mobile platform that you use, such as a tablet or a mobile device. So when a tech is in the field or possibly in their vehicle prior to going in for a service call, they can look up on the viewer and know exactly what they need to focus on when they go in to see that customer. I'm going to select a 6240 in this machine. I know a 6240 is a Polaris, so I'm going to ask the viewer information about that 6240. On the search area, I put in 6240 for that machine and I hit search. This goes out for all of my customers within my fleets and brings back data about all my 6240s. I'm going to select the one that I are going to look at for this demonstration, and you can see there's nothing illuminated on this board just yet because we haven't asked the viewer the right questions. The common thing we see is we may not know how to troubleshoot our machines. We could get a code like an SPPD1_N, but we might not know what that is. So let's look at that. I'm going to drop down on the machine state, and here are the real-time messages that are sent out of the machine that we talked about before. Here you see the jams, the errors, the tasks, and alerts. We capture the last 8 of those messages and show them to you right here in the viewer. Going back to our machine state, it's the SPPD1_N. We're going to hit search. Here I'm granted with 2 different options that I can choose from. I am going to select the jam not reached, which is a 90. Now look at this. The board has displayed assets that we have available for your technicians to assist them with their servicing needs. Here is a service manual that we can open up and look at the service manual for that 6240. When I hover over the PDF file, you see an option that says Send to Queue. You can send this to the queue of the machine, providing the machine has OSA 3.5 and higher on it. So when the technician gets to that location, this service manual could be waiting for them to print off to help them fix the machine. You can also send it to a cloud device. So if you have Google Drive, SkyDrive, Dropbox, you could send it to your storage device in the cloud. You can also select the service manual and have the answers you need. We've also taken out the guesswork where if you were to go ahead and click on anything within the contents area of the service manual, it will take you right to that section. So let's say I need a consumable part. I'm going to select consumables and it's going to show me the consumable part in the area. Takes the guesswork out of sifting through pages and pages of service manuals. The next option is a troubleshooting guide. Here we have taken out the guesswork also for you and show you where in the DSPF that sensor is that technician needs to focus on. Also in the RSPF, we also show you a picture, then circle the area and tell you what you need to do in order to fix that machine. We show you the possible simulations to run. We show you pictures of where that technician should focus in on. All right here, all in micas. We also have a jam troubleshooting guide. So here is a jam troubleshooting guide or a jam troubleshooting guide. You have multiple things that you can search on to fix your machines. Here's a jam troubleshooting guide. Possible simulations. We walk you through it step by step. Going back to the viewer, we also have a video gallery that will show the technician exactly where that sensor is that they need to focus on. We take you through the paper feed path and stop the video so you know exactly where you need to concentrate when fixing that machine. Also have an extensive video library for the service technicians to assist them with fixing our copiers as well. If you click on the troubleshooting tab here, you have finishing accessory videos, MFP videos, paper feed accessory videos. They are all right here for you in our video library. We also have next step videos in our video library, latest videos that we have added to our library, and most watched videos within our video library. Back to the viewer. So, depending on what else is selected in the viewer, gives you different options. Before it was an SPPD1_N. Now I'm going to probably put in a 93. We're going to ask the viewer that. This is an SPPD2_S. Once selected, now we also have tech tips that are available to the technician. We also have tech bulletins available to the technicians. The answers are all right in front of you, right on our viewer. And depending on what else is selected in the viewer, more items on the viewer will illuminate. The next option we're going to look at will be product diagnostics. Product diagnostics is a great tool to help you really understand how your machines are behaving. When you come in to product diagnostics, you see customer, serial number, name, product model, machine location, and a couple series of tabs, summaries, event logs, alerts, and agents. We also have an advanced view tab that I'm going to select. Here is a chart that shows you a toner percentage of or forecast in that machine that we have currently selected on top. We also give you what's on the machine, so the options that are available. We show you what hard drive is on the machine, we show you what paper feed units is on the machine, what finishers are on the machine, what language of the firmware is on the machine. It is all there for you. Going back up to the toner levels, let's talk about that a little bit. Here you can see I am at less than 25% on black, and I have a notification saying that the toner is low. Well, on 6/2/2015, I got a prediction of how many pages I'm at and when that forecast is going to run out. I also can see the toner SKU. So when I'm reordering toner, I can just call up and ask for that SKU number, and I will get toner shipped to my location. The next tab, the summary tab. Here are your black and white counts, your total counts, your full color counts, and your percentages of your toner remaining in that machine. The usage tab. Here is more of a deep dive under the hood, if you would, of the machine, exactly what is happening here. Full color counts, monochrome, print counts, scan save counts, document file counts, output sheet counts, output paper counts, network scanner counts, maintenance counts, other prints, IP fax counts, IP fax sent counts, IP counts, FTP counts, image and SMS counts, fax counts, and other job counts. Next is the maintenance tab, maintenance counters. So here we have an opportunity to look at how many scans from the glass we had, and micas will tell us that. We can see our maintenance counters here, our maintenance tray counters. We can also see how many clicks are on our primary transfer unit, our secondary transfer unit, our fusion counters, our drum printing, developing printing, toner printing, total drum cartridge distribution, cumulative developer cartridge distribution. They're all right here for you to look at. The event log. This shows us how a machine has been communicating via micas, and those real-time trouble code errors that we saw, since they're configured on the MFP, come through in micas and give us a nice report as to what happened, what date and time. Shows us the date and time that it occurred, the type, the code, the job type, the paper, the counts black and white, and color, and when clicking on the code will take you back to the micas viewer. the Alerts tab. Here, if there was alerts on this machine, micas would let us know. In this case, there is not. The transactions. Here we can see how that machine communicated with micas. When you look at 6.2, red body, red data, that means that we got red information, which is remote email diagnostics, and the machine is reporting correctly. The next tab we're going to look at is Reports. When clicking on the Reports tab on the header menu, before we saw under MFP registration, the reports by customer. These are reports for your whole entire fleet. So if I need a report from my whole entire fleet that's in micas, I would click on the Report tab, then click on the Maintenance report, and I would get a whole report for what's happening with my whole fleet. Trouble code reports, the same thing. Export counters, the same. Remote email diagnostics, the same. And the ROI calculator is a tool that we have on our site that can assist you with trying to understand the value of micas can bring to your organization, such as burden rate, that where you put in the number of technicians, so let's say 5, it will build out a little chart to show you your savings per year. The next section is the micas agent. The micas agent is a downloadable file that you install on a Windows 7, Windows 8 workstation, Windows 2008 server, 2012 server, and what the agent does, it allows you to manage your fleet remotely. A true MPS system. We have micas white papers available for your customers to view, so if they're unsure about exactly what that install file does on their network, you can provide to them the white papers and it will assist them and hopefully put their mind at ease. We also have an agent best flow practice document that will walk you through when to install an agent and when not to install the agent. We also have an install help file, best practice document, the release notes. Here are the 64 bits and 32 bits versions of the agent. So let's talk about a scenario. I am a dealer and I want to install an agent at my customer's location. I would then go to the customer's location, install one of these agents, 64-bit or 32-bit, and then it will load on that computer or workstation or server, and then you can manage your fleets remotely. Let's talk about that. Once you have the micas agent installed, you log into the agent with your micas credentials. You assign that customer to that agent. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm using Seeker Marketing just so I can show you some live data and you can see what the agent can do. You're greeted by the System Information tab. Here we show you what application version of the agent is running, what listening port it's running on, what network and what version info. Let's click on the Device tab. If I wanted to go out and crawl a network to get information about devices and have them register up to micas, I can do that by selecting Device Discovery. I can refresh all detected devices. Now, if I'm using this for the first time, it would pick up all those devices that are on a network. If I want to use a single IP, I can do that as well. If I want to use an IP address range, I can do that. If I want to use SNMP version 3, I can also use that. But let's look at this. Let's say I already crawled all the network and picked up all those devices. Well, let's look at those now. Here it is displayed for me in a listing, where under the department area, I do not have any information listed for that customer. So if I wanted to modify that, I would just click Edit Settings tab. I would put in, let's just say, Seeker Marketing. Hit Save, and it would post Seeker Marketing under the department field. We also have model, name of the machine, serial number of the machine, location, network address of the machine, whether or not the machine is registered to micas, the last notification, data collection enabled, and a job log. So you may be asking, well, why do I need an agent? Well, the value of the agent is this, because along with getting meter counts for Sharp devices, we can also now get counts for third-party devices on meters. So the true benefit of the micas agent is this. Alongside with also giving you the meter reads and the assets for Sharp MFPs and how to fix them, and all of our different toner information, drum information, counts, we can also now get third-party meter reads. So as you can see in the agent, I have a RICO here. Well, now I can get a meter read for a RICO that's registered within micas. So let's say you're at your dealership and you need to leverage the agent. Okay? You can set up a meeting with the customer at that location and connect into the micas agent. Once you connect, you will then have access to that MFP's webpage right from your dealership. By clicking on the IP address of that machine, you will then be dropped into that MFP's webpage. The next section is remote assistance. We have built into the micas agent Ultra VLNC to assist you with connecting to this agent remotely. The next tab is troubleshooting. So you may ask, how does micas get my third-party meter reads? Well, we have a tool in our agent that does an SNMP scan of that device. And how it works is you click on the SNMP scan, you put in the IP address of that machine. So if I was just to go over to devices and get an IP address and copy and paste it into the SNMP scan under the troubleshooting tab and hit start scan, it will go out and get the MIB information for that machine. So what you do on the troubleshooting tab is after the MIB information comes back, you export the information to a CSV file, then send it to us at micas@sharpsec.com mailbox. And then we go in on the back end side, and then once you get confirmation back from us that says it has been completed, you then restart the agent and you will receive your third-party meter reads. The next is the event log. Windows error messages, what's going on that server or that workstation that you have put the agent on, here we show them to you. And the upgrade tab, whether or not you are running the most current version of the agent out in the field. If you are not, we let you know, and you can then upgrade the file right here. We also have release notes that talks about what we have updated in the agent, and they are time-stamped as far as when they have been to market, and an exclusive help file to walk you through exactly how the agent performs, whether using the help page, how to register an agent, how to log in, system information, managing devices, how to discover devices. The help section, all the information of our portal outlined in wonderful help files and searchable PDFs. Everything that I have covered here today on the portal is talked about in the help files. Just in case you're in the field and you may not know the answer to that quick question, you can look at a help file or view a video and you will get that answer very quickly. We are constantly adding new features to micas. Matter of fact, during this demonstration, we also added a new toner report to micas. If you want to look at what your toner levels are, you simply go over to the MFP registration area, select the customer, and under the Actions menu is your toner level reports for that customer. Here you can see you have model, serial, machine ID, machine code, location, black, cyan, magenta, and yellow. These are percentages of what toner is left in the machine. The toner measurement gets looked at such as this. It starts at 100% when first toner cartridge is put in. Once that drops from 100% to 75%, we can then project a forecast for you moving forward in 25% increments as to when your toner levels will go down. Another area that you can view the toner report would be under the header menu for the report section. This would be toner levels for your whole entire fleet. So if you simply need to do a report and look at what toner levels are at for all your machines in the field, you could just simply select that area and then you will see the toner report. So there you have it, an introduction to micas. I hope I've answered all your questions today, but if I haven't, please feel free to contact us at micas@sharpsec.com. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day.